Right now on YouTube, there are brands and businesses boycotting YouTube. And they're literally pulling all their advertising money to make a statement to YouTube. What's this all about? How does it affect you as a creator? Stay tuned.
DarrellEves.com.
Hey guys, Darrell Eves here. Now I think you've probably seen it in the news, but there are a lot of businesses actually boycotting YouTube, and the list is getting longer and longer and longer. It's like companies like AT&T, Dish Network, Enterprise, FX Networks, General Motors of all things, Johnson & Johnson, PepsiCo, Starbucks, Verizon, Walmart, and literally the list is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, this boycott is literally saying a statement to YouTube and Google, hey, let's fix a few things. We're really worried about it. But it's also causing some undue strain on the creator. Now, YouTube talks about, they preach about this holy triangle to keep YouTube actually running. And this triangle is pretty interesting. It's like something that most content creators don't know about, but YouTube literally has to take care of a couple parties. They need to take care of the advertisers, which will fund YouTube. And then, you know, they take care of creators because creators are getting some of that money. And then creators create content, which give the viewer. And the viewer actually watches the ad from the advertiser, and that's where the balance comes in. Now, this is something that's in balance, and sometimes when it gets out of balance, it can get a little crazy because one of the parties, whether it's a viewer or the advertiser or the creator, has some issues. It creates this imbalance on YouTube. Now, this one is probably the biggest imbalance that I'm seeing because it affects both the viewer and the content creator. And it's something really serious. And it's going to affect you as a content creator, I can guarantee it. We already seen a lot of posts and interactions with channels that we advise, and they're already losing their ad revenue. The ad revenue is starting to dip down, and they think, oh, YouTube's just dealing with the algorithm, but it's not. It has everything to do with inventory for video ads, because that's kind of where, if there's more inventory, then the cost goes up. If there's less inventory, well, your CPMs go down. You make less money per 1,000 views. Now, what's this all about? Well, it's all about these brands in the UK and in Europe that wanted to make a statement because some of their content was being reported to being shown on some extremist YouTube videos and also websites. And what that is you had some terrorists, you had some ISIS groups that had some AdSense, and they were actually, the brands didn't want to be associated by no means with that. So really, who's to blame? Well, is it YouTube? Well, is it the advertiser? Well, kind of both. I mean, there's certain things that are going on, and I totally get that the brands really want to make a statement to YouTube and Google telling them, hey, let's get this thing fixed or we're not going to advertise. And they literally pulled their money and said, we're not going to do it until you fix it. But two, some of the advertisers are not even utilizing some things that are already built right in to really narrow it down. And YouTube has a huge issue, and they've been doing this for a couple months now, where they're trying to find brand safe content, and they're doing it through bots. It's not humans that are actually doing it. And so you'll actually get content that is brand safe, that is talking about, you know, the gay and lesbian community, for example, will literally get flagged and shut down from getting any monetization because of some filters that are actually set up. So it's a very difficult process, but there is a solution, and it's a solution for both advertiser and content creator. And I don't think YouTube's literally trying to, take away your free speech, but the people that are paying to put their ad, maybe they don't want to be associated with the type of content that you're actually creating. So that's kind of the issue there. So YouTube and Google made an official statement saying the things that they're doing right now to rectify the issue. Now they're talking about that ads will only show up in creators that are in the YouTube Partner Program, which is a big deal because they're kind of vetted, from there. Two, YouTube team will revise the community guidelines for all content. And this is good news for all of us because as they revise the community guidelines, it's going to be more defined and easily understandable. Because I don't know if you guys read the community guidelines, but it's like in this legal jargon, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. Next would be new account level tools for advertisers to manage ad visibility across YouTube and also the web. That's the Google Ad Display Network, which is really, really interesting. And it's giving them new tools so they can actually monitor what's going on. A lot of it is actually running right now. It's not something that they have to wait for, but it's going right now and it's working right now. They have video level support to all advertisers, and that's actually coming up in the next couple months, which is a very big deal. And then 2, significant numbers of new hires. And YouTube is actually hiring brand new people coming in. There's a huge staff that's coming in so that there's actually more human review. And YouTube will actually introduce new tools that will interface with their AI in the AdWords ecosystem that can go out and look at questionable content and then also flag it or whatever to go for a human review, which is a pretty big deal for a lot of us content creators. And lastly, YouTube and Google through AdWords is going to make it really easy for advertisers to report violations, which is a very big deal. So, can this all be resolved by hiring more people and also doing some automation? Well, no. You might say, okay, why not? Well, it's because we live in the world of fake news. We live in the world of fake websites and content going out. And there are bots creating these websites and pumping out this content to get people to click and so on. And it's at a rate that you'd have to literally change the infrastructure system. But for advertisers, oh my gosh, literally shock a lot of these advertisers that are not even doing this stuff that's already built in AdWords. And trust me, I literally set up a lot of campaigns every day. I know exactly what's going on here. Now, you can literally create exclusions of different websites that you don't want to be a part of. You can do negative targeting, and this is something that you can exclude. Like you can do general audiences you can exclude, or even down to mature audiences or content that's not yet labeled, live streams, or maybe you want to have a negative target where your ad doesn't show up for tragedy and conflict, for sensitive social issues, or sexual suggestive content, or shocking, whatever it may be. And there's new areas to negative target that's being added, and there's a couple more that I hear about that's coming down the pipeline, will be very, very interesting. But advertisers, you have the control. You have literally the control to lock it down, to get rid of literally about 99% of the content that's out there. But most people don't go for the negative targeting. They just said, oh, you know what? We want it to blanket to go to everybody. Well, that's kind of dangerous. If you don't want your brand to be out there, you don't do it. And it's not sometimes the brand's fault, it's the ad buyer's fault. It's because they're lazy and they don't want to go through a little bit more setup to do it, but they can actually save a setting and hit it every time for a specific client. But what they want to do is get as many eyeballs on that ad as possible, and that's kind of where the problem's at. So what does this mean for you? Well, expect your CPMs to drop. Basically, what happens when less people are advertising, that means there's less inventory. And when there's less inventory, your ad costs go down. And so expect it to go way down unless it's something where this boycott and YouTube and Google can come together and say, hey, we fixed the issue, or we have an issue or a plan, and let's start getting some of your ad revenue back and get those ads up. So as inventory goes down, you as a content creator lose more money. Now, you probably got a lot more than what you thought in this video, but I'm passionate about it because I do a lot of advertising, and I've always had issues with YouTube and Google about certain things. And then I'm also a content creator, and I understand what it takes to actually put out content, and a lot of the creators that feel like, oh, YouTube's filtering me, but no, it's like the brands that don't want to advertise on that type of content anymore. So basically, YouTube is getting their big boy pants on and are growing up. And it's going to happen as more ad dollars shift to this platform. They expect more. They expect it to be a little bit more professional. And so I would just be cautious with the type of content that you're actually creating if you're worried about that, or do this. Crowdfund everything. Like, don't worry about advertisers. Go on Patreon and set up your crowdfunding community and get it done. So you don't have to worry about that. You're getting your money through sponsorship deals, if the type of sponsors that want to associate you with your brand, and also crowdfunding, that your fans actually giving you money to create content. Now, I'd really love to hear your thoughts about you as a content creator. How does this affect you? Go ahead and put your thoughts in the comments below. Is this something that is reasonable, or is it YouTube doing dumb things to appeal appease to the advertisers that's taking away some of your First Amendment rights or whatever it may be, put it in the comment below. Let's have an active discussion. This is something that I'm super passionate about because I work with advertisers and I do a lot of advertising, but also I'm a content creator and I understand that balance. I just need more viewers. So go ahead and share this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit subscribe and have an effective, wonderful day.